try out this absolutely insane Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord mod pack. So a lot of these can be found on the Steam Workshop, but some of them you will need to go to nexusmods in order to find them. So let me just start from the top. Harmony, UI Extender X, Butterlib, and Mod Configuration Menu 5. They can be found in the Steam Workshop. There's literally a button here on your Steam library. Just click that and go through. These are like your essential mods that get all the others to run. So these are essential, and we put these at the top. When you load them in, there's going to be like they're going to be like that basically. So just make sure you turn them on. And if they are below this, which they probably won't be, this little hamburger icon lets you drag it all the way to the top. So just make sure these four are at the top, mainly Harmony. But I just like to keep all four clustered up here. Then you've got the default modules which come with the game, so the native modules. And then this is where the fun combat and insane gameplay comes from. So when you shoot a bow and arrow normally, it's hard to track the arrow. It doesn't like, you can't see. What this allows you to do is press the middle mouse button when you fire your arrow, and you can track your arrow through the air. So you've essentially got like a camera that follows your arrow. It's like very Skyrim vibes. It's so immersive, it's so great, and it just adds a lot to the game. So get Arrow Cam. It's on Steam Workshop. Version V 1.8 still works for 1.9, so you'll be fine. Just press the middle mouse button, sorted. Then I've got some random armor mods, the Swadian Armory and the Bahamut Armory. I think in the clips I've been posting yesterday, I'm using this armor, but I'm not sure. Like there's a big mix of armor. I've got a few armor mods, but these can be found on the Steam Workshop. Improved Garrisons is on the Steam Workshop. I don't really use that much. It was more like a tutorial test run when the game came out, but essentially you can just do more with the campaign. More arenas adds some cool arena maps that some are flooded, some have got plenty of details. It's just more variation on the arena maps when you're doing the tournaments. It's a good mod. Dismemberment Plus, 10 out of 10. The guy that runs this, I can't remember his name. It's like the Schwark or the Shulk or something. Like, he's done so much for the community. Go support him. Check out his like Steam Workshop page. Check out his Nexus mod page. But essentially, Dismemberment allows you to like chop people up. So you can chop limbs off, chop heads off, and you can like set the percentage of like how often that happens. And when that does happen, you can also trigger slow motion. So it just makes these absolutely beautiful gameplay clips that you've been seeing come out on my channel. So big shout out to the guy that makes this. And we might as well scroll to the bottom because he's also like sorted this out, the Zorborax's Legacy. So he's like revived these mods, put them all into like a mod pack, and you just turn which one's on that you want. So if you want the great combo of dismembering people, but then the problem is you can only do that one person at a time. If you want to slice through like 10 people as a giant Viking with an axe, you can like turn on slice through. But instead of using slice through, you might as well use Zorborax's Legacy mod, which can be found in the Steam Workshop. So slice through is only on Nexus Mods, but Zorborax's Legacy is on the Steam Workshop, and that it has like 10 mods nested in it. Like you can have banks, you can have scholars, blah blah blah. I'm only interested in like gameplay and making my clips look cool. So there's a shoulder cam, which like it's just a dynamic moving camera while you move. It's very, I don't know, it's very retail. It's very like modern, so it just feels nicer. Like it tracks your horse cooler. When you're in combat, it moves around, so it's very immersive. It feels great. You've got deadly horse charges where you'll just like steam through an enemy because it's OP. Like Warband was so OP because you just run a cavalry charge through any army and you just decimate them. But it's a fun gameplay loop. If you enjoy doing that, you've got deadly horse charges in here, and you can make them as ridiculous as you want. So I make the horses insanely OP. Combine that with like character manager, where I've hacked my stats. So essentially, I've got double max level, and I've got every single perk activated. So it just makes your character like a god character. You can also turn all the companions on the map, all the heroes, you can do the same thing for them. So you can actually have a challenge. So you've got like, it's very Dynasty Warriors. You've got like an army of little like peasant noobs you can absolutely slay. And then when you go against the lords and the heroes, they're like raid bosses like yourself. So you can boost them for a bit of a challenge because you do turn into an absolute god. So this is like a way to counteract that. So to give you a bit of a challenge. Like, I mean, it's not even that much of a challenge because you're so fast and you're so OP. But still, it's at least they don't die in one hit, so you have a bit of a raid boss. And then what else can you do in Character Manager? You can I've done like console commands in a video, like the videos I posted yesterday and the day before. I've gone into all the nitty-gritty details of like turning on cheats, like turning on mods, like using the console commands, things like that. But I don't know, maybe we'll touch that in this video. We'll see how long this Steam like carries on for. Fire arrows and bolts enabler. To be honest, I might just turn that off, because although I've only been against like knife throwers, but I've not really seen fire arrows. Yeah, and it's not making my arrows turn into fire arrows. So I think I've like moved the wrong mod over. So don't worry about this one. I need to test it more. But essentially, it gives you a fire arrow. Combine that with arrow cam, and it like tracks your fire arrow. Very cool. Halo armor, just a bit of fun. What that does is put the Spartan armor into the game, and you can just drag it across from the inventory screen. But this is where you need to enable cheats. All of this requires like cheats. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Let me just finish the rest of the list. Spanish Knight is another armor mod. Looks cool. Crouch to sprint, I've touched on that before, but essentially I can go like 100 miles an hour, reposition myself, get some cool clips. Like, it's a sandbox. I like the gameplay loop. It's fun. Like, I just want to have the satisfying moments. I don't care about the managing my kingdom over 200 hours. Like, I've been there. I've done that. I want to just like have fun slaying people for 10 minutes and then quit. So what else is in this Zorbrix Legacy mod? Let me just think. The slice fruit in there is called something else, but the settings will be obvious. Like, you'll know which one it is. And then literally just, you've got sliders. Just move the sliders until you're satisfied with how it's feeling. But Deadly Horse Charges is great. And yeah, you don't need slice fruit if you've got Zorbrax's Legacy mod. And because this is on the Steam Workshop, you might as well just use the Steam Workshop because it's so simple. If you do want a tutorial on how to download mods from nexusmods and how to install them manually, check the description, check my channel, and you can, there's like, I've done like 10 to 15 like big guides like this, and they're all a bit scatterbrained, but all the information you'll ever need is in there. So if this one doesn't answer some of your questions, check my others out. And if they still don't answer your questions, leave a comment and I will get to you and I'll try and help you. While I'm saying all this, if anybody knows how to remove the fall damage, like when I jump off a castle, I land on the floor and I get stuck in like a 2-second animation lock. If anyone knows how to like stop you taking fall damage and stop you like going into that animation, like please tell me. I have seen somebody do it before on a mod, but they didn't reply to me and I couldn't get a hold of them. So if anyone knows how to remove the fall damage, please tell me. And I'm thinking like when I use crouch to sprint, you go so fast that if you run off a hill, you kind of like fly through the air and then you land on the ground. And the problem is you're just locked in place for 1 second. It takes you out of the game. It's just so unsatisfying. Like, I'm running around like an absolute insane super god, and every time I walk off the slightest little hill, I get stuck in this awkward thing where I'm just stood on the floor for 2 seconds. Like, it's cringe, mate. Anyway, moving on. So that's a rundown of the mods. From the gameplay clips I posted yesterday, that's what... actually, I'll just load this up for you. The audio might go, like, insanely scuffed for a second, but this is what we're on about. Actually, I've just been playing this. I'll mute it. But this is what you can do. So you can see how the arrow cam, like... You can press middle mouse as soon as you fire, and it like tracks, and you just get these beautiful moments. You can see my armor that I'm rocking. That's like some of the modded armor. And then look at how fast everyone's moving. Everyone's moving at double speed. That's the faster movement. My guy is like absolutely hacked. Like, you can see he's doing like insane damage. Like, he's got Deadly Horse Charges, so he can just run through groups of people. And then here we go. Once you get off your mount and you pull your sword out, you've got your dismemberment, you've got your slice through, you've got your Zorbrax's legs saying, boo, boo, look at it. It's beautiful. And then the slow motion happens, then the arms come off. Like, holy moly, it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, go watch the rest of that vid if you want to see more clips. But essentially, this is the mod pack you need to have that gameplay. If you want to play like that, you need all of this. Harmony UI extended, butter lib, mod config, arrow cam, armor, find whatever armor works for you. Don't need improved garrisons. You don't need that. Dismemberment, character manager, don't need that. Halo armor, don't need that unless you want to wear it. Crouch to sprint, faster movement, and then this one, the Zorbrix's Legacy pack. That's what you need to produce that. And then while we're here, we might as well finish off some things. So if you're on like different versions, so let's say you're from the future. Hello, people from the future. You might be on patch like 1.92, And let's say mods break on 1.92, you'll have to like revert back to a patch where they work. Like for the longest time, I had to play on patch 1.62 because that's the only one arrow cam would work on. But then like 3 or 4 days ago, someone like updated the mod so it now works for 1.9, which is awesome. But keep your eye on the version. If it's breaking, it's probably the version. Just go into it, right click it. I'll show you again. Right click, properties, go into the betas, and then you'll have a drop down here. So you can just go and like revert to whatever version you need to make your mods work. So click it, it'll validate. It will take like sometimes up to half an hour to just sort itself out. If you've been playing with like a full conversion mod, it'll really take a long time to like sort itself out. But be patient, make a brew, go do some chores, do a workout, come back and it'll be done. What else? So I'll show you the 2 directories you're going to need. So Steam Workshop at the minute, you go into it through your library like that. So I'll show you one more time. It's right here. Workshop, click into it. This is great. It only came out a couple like maybe 2 weeks ago. So everything's going to get moved over here because it's just the easiest way to get mods downloaded. And it's just so great. But since it's only been out a few days, you can't find every single mod. But the transition's happening. People are flooding it with all the cool mods. So Bannerlord is in such a good spot right now. I'm just loving it. Like absolutely loving it. Thanks for all the new views and new likes and new comments and new subscribers as well, by the way. The watch hours are going through the roof. We're monetized. We're now like we've got a join button on our channel. So you can like get membership badges. You can like blah, 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 promotion over. So yeah, so just go into the one you want. This is the one you should start with, Harmony. Go into it. Okay, maybe the Steam Workshop's down. Or it just bugged out then. Whatever. But you can see like the icons here. So go into it, click subscribe, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Once you like go over here, it'll say validating, click play, go into like the mod section of your list here, and it'll be there, and then you just click it on like that. That's all you have to do. In the past on nexusmods, you had to like download the mod, make an account, well, you had to make an account, download the mod, extract it with like 7-zip or WinRAR, find your file path, move it in. It was easy enough after you've got your head around it, but it's a bit complicated if you're not used to doing stuff like that. And it just took a long time. I was like, oh god, I've got to go down the Steam apps, Marble 2 Bannerlord modules. It was just a pain in the ass going down the file path. But now, literally, click subscribe in the workshop and you're done. 10 out of 10. It's great. So then finally, I'll show you how to turn the cheats on, and then I'll show you the file path you need. So for the mods, just in case. So go to to turn cheats on, instead of going into like your D drive and your Steam, all that, it's actually for me in my so there's 2. It's in my documents, Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord configs folder, and this is where a lot of the settings for the engine are stored. So you need to find engine_config in your configs folder. Double click it, and you'll see a load of like settings like this. A lot of these can be changed in game, as well as this one I'm teaching you right now. So if you go look at my other videos where I'm using the console commands in-game, it takes too long to load the game up, so I can't do it in this video. But I have done a video yesterday where I was showing you all the console commands. But essentially, just go into here, change that. It's going to be cheat mode equals 0 for you. Delete the 0, replace it with a 1, save it, and then all your mods will work. All the inventory, you can just like, you basically hack the inventory, you've hacked the troops, you can drag 1,000 battanian Fiend champions into your army if you want. You can you can drag every sick mount, every best bow, every best like weapon and armor. You just drag it across into your inventory from the inventory screen. And you can hack in money, so you can like type in like, I don't know, add gold to hero name, and it give it like 5 million gold. You can literally add 100 companions in one go, and then you can make them all gods. So you can have like an army of like, it's like a Fellowship of the Ring type thing. Everyone's like Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas level, and you just like slaughter everyone. If you're into like the fantasy roleplay like that, it's so fun. But essentially in game, you can do, once you open up the console with Alt and the squiggly thing under Escape, like I'm gonna press the key now. That's what it makes, but it's the button under Escape. So you hold Alt and you press that in game, and it opens up the console folder. And all you need to do is type in config with a dot on the end like that, and it'll show you like cheats, and then just set cheats to 1. Like you can do it in game as well, but you can also do it manually in the files like this. So that's how you enable cheats. Go watch my other videos if it's still not making sense, but you'll be fine. Let me just make sure that's set to 1. Yeah, and then I'll show you, if you do want to download mods manually, let's say the mod you like isn't on the Steam Workshop, you are going to have to go through like moddb or nexusmods, and then you're going to have to like find your file path. So I'll just show you where that is. Go into your D drive. Where, to be honest, where your Steam drive is, that's where it's going to be. So for me, it's on my D drive. So I have a C drive and a D drive, and the Steam one is on my D drive. Go into Steam apps, go into common, go into Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord, go into modules, and this is where you put them all. So the only thing you need to be careful of in here, when you're downloading a mod manually, sometimes it comes inside a modules folder like this. So just make sure when you download something, you extract whatever's in there outside of it. So let's say I download slice through, which is it's like you just slice through multiple people. If it's like this, it won't work. It needs to not be a modules folder inside a modules folder. You need to extract it out of it using something like WinRAR, 7-zip, or you can just drag it across. But just make sure you don't have a modules folder inside the modules folder. Extract whatever's inside it. Like, every mod is different because all the different creators make it, so you need to like think about things sometimes. But most of the time, it works. But then it's Bannerlord. It's just come out. There's a million like mods trying to work with each other. It's gonna crash. But once you've loaded the game up once, that every time you load it up after that, it's much faster. So you can get these cool gameplay clips, but there's a bit of like pain on your way there. But it's so worth it to me. And then if you do want to do a full conversion mod, it can take a while to load up, but it's the same principle. Just drag it in like I've just shown you there. So go watch my other videos for the console commands. There are cheats as well you can use. Like if you're low on health, you can do Control H and it'll give you like full health. You can do, Control F3 and F4. Actually, Control Shift F4. I think that just wipes the entire army out you're against. So one of those buttons, just use like Control Shift F3 or Control F4, one of them. Don't mix it up with Alt F4, whatever you do. Or just make sure you save before you start faffing. But yeah, that just like slaughters the entire enemy. So if you're like in a tricky spot but you want to keep your save, you can just kill the entire enemy team with like one button. So yeah, leave a comment, like and subscribe. Love you all. Peace.